Hello and welcome back to the road to Avengers Endgame, the very, very long and tiring road. I think we should have started this like 2 months earlier than we did. So this one is...
Like we started 2 months ago, didn't we?
Yeah, it was actually a while ago. So this one...
It's the button!
Button. Who's got the button? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Really interesting back cover there. And the steelbook is clinking. So, Guardians Volume 2. I was excited for this one. We watched it. I loved it, thought it was great. Much like the first Guardians film, I had a problem with a couple of the humorous moments in the film. I think we'll get into that in just a second. But I really thought that it really worked well, and I watched it again with my mum. I thought it was just... I think that the emotional impact at the very end of the film just makes it all worth it. This time, rewatching it, I enjoyed it a little bit less. So it's like, Guardians 1, I enjoyed it more than I ever have. Guardians 2, I enjoyed it the least amount I ever have. I still really like it a lot. I think that there's a lot of cool elements to it. I love Kurt Russell, one of my all-time favorite actors, and, to me, he can just do no wrong. He's just endlessly watchable in anything he does, and he's really good here as Ego, the, spoilers, villain of the film, and Peter's celestial father, biologically. We dive into Yondu a lot more in this film as another father figure. It's really about Star-Lord and his two father figures, I suppose, and finding his real dad and how that works into everything. We have a bit more with Gamora and Nebula, the two sisters, and I like how that played out throughout the film. And we have Baby Groot, who
steals the show
a little bit
in the beginning.
Yeah. The opening credit scene is really cool. I always thought that Groot, a little twig had survived, and so he just regrew. But apparently not. Apparently this is a different character. Or this is a reborn Groot. So this isn't the same character as the first movie. He doesn't have the same memories, apparently. He has the same DNA, and he has the kind of, he is Groot and he isn't.
It's still him, it's just that he restarts his
Restarts his existence, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's him.
He can't remember everything, or he would be like the wisest of all everything.
I guess, yeah, but the director did say that he sees it as a different character in the sense that he's being reborn again, and so...
it's like a phoenix.
Yeah, like a phoenix, so yeah, this is kind of like that. I would say that I love Bautista as Drax, and I love his laugh. His laugh is so funny. But I think that maybe James Gunn, the director, was like, that laugh is really funny. Do it all the time. And it's like, it wears down a bit. I think it's overused.
I feel like maybe 30% of the times he laughs, and sometimes the beginning of his laughter scenes, it feels forced to me. But then it kind of turns into a real laugh. Like sometimes when I fake my laugh and not really go in for it, I just end up laughing for real after a little while because it just kind of transitions into a real laugh. I love Bautista so much more in this one. He's so funny.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Oh my god!
And they lean into that for sure.
His timing is so great. His look sometimes, it's just a little scene where what's the
Mantis?
Mantis like, I love your pet, he's so cute, can I pet him? And he's just sat there eating like, yes.
And he's watching with this grin on his face.
He has this, it looks so real, like the acting right there, and I genuinely feel like Bautista actually has Rocket as a friend, like he's looking at Rocket right there in real life, kind of like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart, like they got this relationship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, just fuck with him, because I do it all the time, and now someone else can finally do it,
So, can I just say...
But then his laughter is so forced.
One of my favourite bits is when he's like, Drax says to Star-Lord, so what are these batteries? He's like, oh, they're Anulax batteries. Harbulary battery. I just...
But he says it so slowly too, like, Harbulary battery.
That's it, Harbulary battery. And
he's spelling it out.
I don't know what it is. For me, people getting names wrong like that is just so
Gary
funny.
Wilkerson.
It just like in Harry Potter, he's like, good to see you, Wallenby, and all that kind of... I really, that's one of my, proper, to make me laugh, is to do that weird thing. I don't know what it just really tickles me. So that was really funny. And that's just a really minor part of the film. and also the part where Mantis gets hit by something flying, and she gets hit. She hits the deck, and Drax goes, "Mantis, watch out!" It's just so funny. Anyway.
You also see his kindness and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
he's carrying her out, and he's being drowned in sand, but he just makes sure that he's, like, you know,
Yeah.
above the sand, and he's just, you can tell that he loves Peter, and he's the one who says that they're family.
Yeah.
He's the only one who says that.
Yeah.
And also, when they're leaving Ego, the planet, he's like, "Where's Quill? Quill?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And, like, he doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to leave him behind, you know? And
Yeah.
it's just...
And that's that shot when Rocket makes a decision to close the ship doors, and you can tell it's killing him.
yeah.
But he's just trying to save as many as he can. And Rocket's arc in the film is really good because he's being a dick to everyone, and it's almost like he's being too defensive and being too lashing out and stuff. And so by the end of the film, as he teams up kind of with Yondu, I like their relationship and how they're both similar. And obviously there's a scene where he's like, I am you. And so he comes to an understanding, and I think that really helps Rocket grow as a character. And I love the fact that the quasi final shot of the film is a raccoon looking up with a tear rolling down its cheek, when he sees the fireworks for Yondu's funeral. I think that's a really cool ending for the film. But
I choke up during that part.
It's a great. That's the thing. There are things in the film I don't like, and I think, you're killing me with this. And then the emotional impact of the ending, I think, is brilliant. I think it's so well done.
Yeah.
And it really...
You sit there and you actually hold back, like, that lump in your throat, because it's very touching. And I just love how in the first movie, Yondu is seen as such a horrible, disgusting guy, and then in this one you finally get to know him, and then in the end you end up almost crying, or you're supposed to be crying, but
yeah, I think there's flashes of of that in the first film, not much, but there's like a hint of it which gets fully explored in this one, which is really cool. And Michael Rooker is great, and I think he does a great job with that. And I think that's the best part of the film, is the Yondu kind of stuff and the way it plays out. The ego stuff, I really like the story. I really like Kurt Russell. I think he plays the character well. But I just, and I'm just gonna come out and say it. The David Hasselhoff cameo, possibly the most poorly timed joke, I think. And you disagree with me on this, but for me...
Yeah, because I this time I managed to view it differently. I was sat there waiting for it, knowing how much you hate that part.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like, when we watched it in the cinema, people were laughing all the time, and they found that part funny.
Yeah.
But when I watched it in silence now, trying to embrace that moment, I saw how twisted it is. Because we learned that Quill has been saying that David Hasselhoff was his father.
Yeah.
And so that was just like his childhood memory. Not memory, but like his fantasy in a way. And he's using that upon all of this, where he's just revealed that he killed his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, it's just, I feel like it's twisted. He's playing more with his emotions, and at the same time it's creepy because he can turn into anyone. He could have turned into his mom. That would have been worse, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like, because the music is still like tense, and the situation is still tense, and he's not cracking a joke. He's yelling at him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I viewed it this time as like it had an impact on me because it was more twisted, like I said. And so I accepted it. Because that scene is very like the realization he actually got himself out of a spell.
Yeah.
Right before he agreed that they should take over all of the worlds and everything, and it's beautiful to see that they're being destroyed. He was seeing his own planet getting destroyed, but then he just says, "Oh, I killed your mother," and then he snaps out of it. So that just shows how powerful that is.
All I'll say is and I'm not being funny. I'm really glad that you see it that way, because that means you can enjoy it more than I can.
Yeah,
and I understand your point of view.
Part of the reason why they put it there too.
I understand your point of view as well, but even down to the minutiae of Kurt Russell yelling at Chris Pratt, and then it's David Hasselhoff yelling, and it's just like the acting isn't there. even if it's like 1.7 seconds. To me, it just is so poorly timed. I don't want to be removed from that moment with a David Hasselhoff cameo. I just think it's so poorly timed, and the moment when he says, "It really killed me to put that tumor in her head," that to me is like the darkest fucking moment in like a Marvel movie, and I just thought, holy shit, like, this is awful, but like I'm loving where this is going dramatically, like holy shit. And then David Hasselhoff turns up and I'm just like,
oh, he breaks the spell for you.
yeah, it really does. It
You're
just
so into the whole thing
it
that
takes
he
the
snaps you
it
out
takes
of
the
it.
fun, but it's not like
Takes you with the flow.
it's not like I then check out of the movie. I can still get into the seriousness of it and everything. I just think it doesn't need to be there. If you're gonna do a David Hasselhoff cameo, that to me is not the right place to do it. And then the second thing for me was when he says to him at the end, and it's a great moment when it's building up, when Peter learns to kind of control this power that he has, when Yondu says, I wasn't using my head to control the thing, I was using my heart, and he just clenches his fists, and the kind of soil swirls around him. They bring fucking Fleetwood Mac into it, the music is building, and then he's like, "You shouldn't have killed my mum," and squish my Walkman. And I'm just like, I get it. The Walkman it symbolized his mother,
It
but
meant everything to him.
it didn't.
He went back into prison to get it while it was collapsing.
I understand that.
He would die for that Walkman.
I understand
and
that.
It's gone
But to me,
forever.
saying you shouldn't have killed my mum is kind of implicit in the whole. The Walkman is tied in with his mum anyway, and it undercuts it with a little bit of a. To me, it's a little bit of a joke. And then again, they're fighting, and he turns into Pac-Man, and
the Pac-Man was worse for me.
Yeah, it's
the whole scene
you
looks awkward, the way it's moving, and he's like a big himself.
Yeah, and just the idea that he's trying to kill someone who killed his mother, and he has the kind of wherewithal to go, I'm going to be something really cool that I like. Yeah, it doesn't work for me, But again, I don't know why I enjoyed it the least, but I still really enjoyed it, and I think that the emotional beats of the characters I think really work, especially Rocket, Yondu, and even Quill to a degree. The journey he goes on. I think that the Nebula and Gamora thing is, I buy into it, but maybe only 90%. Like when she's like zooming down, shooting at her with the ship and crashes into her. And she's just like, I just wanted to beat you in combat so I could say I was better. And they love each other really, but they're not going to say it, but they're still trying to kill each other. But I do like it. It's difficult when I can, when I like it, but I don't like a tiny bit of it. It's, I don't know. I can't reconcile these things.
I don't feel that relationship that much either.
I do and I don't. That's the thing.
But
I do more than I don't. I do more than I don't, I guess. Yeah. It's like, again, probably about 85%.
I buy the relationship more now because of Infinity War.
Yes, definitely, for sure.
Because of what happens there, so.
That probably makes it stronger for me as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so, like I said, I love that the film ends on the shot of a raccoon crying. And again, I love that final scene. So well done with all the other Ravagers, like Stallone, and they got like almost like another Guardians team.
But he can't say the word Ravages.
In the gag reel, he's like, Ravengers? Ravengers? What is it? Like, he's almost getting annoyed at it. Like, I'm just like, did you not read the script that you were supposed to be?
Ravagers.
And he's like, we're going to have to loop this later.
Wow, you do a good impression of him.
Oh, wow, you often shit on my impressions, but anyway.
Only when it's referred to a proposal.
What? Oh yeah. Yeah. Inside reference there. You can work that one out for yourself. So the final shot ends with Rocket, and I love that. And I wish it would cut to credits, but it doesn't. It cuts to a little scene with I forget the guy's name, Sean Gunn, who does the physical performance of Rocket, but he also plays the Yondu's kind of second mate, and he's kind of inherited the what?
He plays whoa. The guy who is Yondu's second in command.
Yeah, his loyal,
He's
most
also
loyal.
Rocket?
He does the physical, like on set, like kind of the.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I think they also had an actress in the first movie who was like short, who would do that alongside him, but I think in the second movie it was just him who does the.
Wow. I didn't know.
Well, he's kind of gangly, so I guess he kind of crouches down into like kind of situations and stuff.
I feel like I know that I've seen him somewhere else, but I just can't pinpoint him. I know exactly who he is.
Oh,
But
I
can't
think
remember what
he's
movie
in Gilmore Girls.
Yes! Thank you! He's the weird guy.
Right, yeah.
Yes, thanks. Oh, that was it. That was exactly it. Thanks.
99 times out of 100, when we're talking about movies and actors, you're like, where do I know them from? And I'll suggest, no, that's not it. I
Yeah,
really...
but this one was very pleasing to know that. You got it. You hit it dead on.
Right. So, they cut to a scene with him, and he's trying to whistle to get the what would you even call it?
Arrow.
The arrow, and it's
What would you even call the arrow?
it stabs Drax, and it's a funny little scene. But I just feel like I love the way it ended with Rocket. Just cut to credits there, and then I counted.
You have to have a comedy part in the end. You can't leave it with crying.
No, I disagree. I think it should have ended with him crying, have the credits roll for like a minute, and then show that scene.
No, I'm saying with Guardians of the Galaxy, you have to have that.
I suppose...
Because they have to have it.
But I feel like they just nailed it so much. I want I want a minute to just sit with that, you know what I mean? But then
they had like 5 cutscenes.
I was going to say, they had 5, I think it was 5, including like the Hasselhoff cameo at the end of the credits. There's like mid-credit scene, mid-credit scene, mid-credit scene, and then one after the end, and I'm just like, guys, calm it down with these scenes. Like, I just think...
I love them. I wanted more.
Really?
Just shoot them all out. It's the funniest parts.
Yeah, the scenes are fine on their own. I just think there was too many of them. All right, well, there you go.
Give me 10, 15, 20.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Just
so,
throw 'em all out.
oh, and we also saw a teenage Groot. I like that. And apparently that is a couple of years after the end of Volume 2.
And Quill obviously understands Groot language now.
Yeah. So, and
I
that...
think all of them actually do in Infinity War, because he says, I am Groot, or something in the spaceship, and everybody goes, whoa! Mind the language! Captain America would...
language. Only he didn't say frickin'. And the Mary Poppins moment is...
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
This is the classic moment, isn't it?
Is he cool?
Is he cool? Yeah, he's cool. It's
It's just immediately like we're thinking that he is like Mary Poppins is a he.
Yeah.
Is he cool? Yeah, and when he sacrifices himself for Quill as well, that's a really good moment.
Yeah, it's just really well done. Like, it's not overplayed. I think it's some really great moments in this. But overall, I think I just enjoyed it not as much as before. But it is what it is. The highs kind of slowly beat down the lows for me. But so Guardians 2, there we go. That was our thoughts. We'll see you with the next one, if we can even keep our eyes open for the next couple of videos. See you then.